Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about 3 mindsets, and when it comes to relationships are the 3 mindsets that really create commitment. So if you're in a relationship where you're trying to date someone and he's just not committing, well, these are the 3 mindsets that are really going to transform and shift to really make sure that you get the best possible outcome in your relationships. Because the reason why we're doing this video is because I recently put a call out on Facebook, and the question that was asked was, well, Natasha asks, "Love you, Harvey. Apologize for not being respectful for you of your time, self-sabotaging." Great, do what you need to do. I'll be here being on my end, being pretty chill. But my question is, he asks me out every week. Gentleman, opens my doors, laughs start to finish, 3 months, when is exclusive, right? Sure, I'm having some problems understanding what you said, Natasha, so I'm asking then, this is a really good question. So the question is, when is it exclusive? Natasha then clarifies, we text every day, sometimes 2 to 3 dates, but won't commit. All right, first of all, before we get into these mindsets that are really gonna help, I wanna kind of nitpick here. If you're dating 2 or 3 dates a week, you're laughing start to finish, you've got a great connection, frankly, that's a commitment. I have to really be honest with you. Sure, it might not be exclusive. He might not be being forced into the box that you want him to be forced into. But truth be told, if you're dating 2 or 3 dates a week, right? If you're in that thing, that relationship is a relationship. You have to remember that a relationship is an exchange of value. So right now, you and I, we're in a relationship. We're talking. We are communicating. Now, you did mention before self-sabotaging. So you might be, and we're gonna get into these mindsets that are really gonna be helpful and beneficial. But it might be that, because you're in the self-sabotaging mode, that you're looking for things to go wrong when clearly they're going right. Now, I don't know whether you've asked him what kind of relationship that you're in. I don't know that much detail. But truth be told, if you've asked him and he says, "Oh, I can't do it yet," then we have to get really certain about what you want. So that's the first mindset. The first mindset is we have to get in touch with what we want. So I'm assuming by this idea, that what you want is an exclusive relationship, that's what you mean by commitment. Because truth be told, 2 or 3 dates a week, that's a fucking commitment. But we have to stop looking, right, at people being able to commit like it's a in or out mindset. Because if it's an in or out mindset, it's either going to be on or off. And when it's on, it's great. When it's off, it's bad. But everyone is transient. We move in, we move out. We have these kinds of things. And to say that it can be on or off depletes the idea that already it's a sliding scale, and it's somewhat already a sliding scale. It's somewhat already where you want it to be. You're dating 2 or 3 times a week. It is an amazing relationship. You are connecting. You do have that laughing start to finish. You feel that maybe he doesn't commit to you specifically, exclusively yet. Well, we can't get to that if you don't already appreciate it where it is. It's like saying, I want to be fit, but you're not appreciating how already fit your body is. Because when you don't think, I want to be fit, I want to be fit, I want to be fit, all you're doing is digging a hole. It's like you have a rocket and you're launching it down rather than launching it up. So to launch it up, we need to appreciate what is actually happening. Now, once we've appreciated, now we can step into the mindset. So the first mindset is to really get in touch with what you want. What experience do you want? Not conditions, because when we are in conditions, when we get into the world of conditions, things can go wrong and things can go right. And when they go wrong, then we go to meditation, we go to Buddhism, we go to, minimalism to try and stop ourselves from feeling so hurt. But when we get in touch with what experiences we want, that's the key. What do we want to experience? What emotions do we want to experience? Do we want to feel love? Do we want to feel joy? Do we want to feel happiness? Do we want to feel that laughter? These are the experiences that we have to define, because when we define them first, then we are sure to create them, because we know where we're going. We have a compass. The reason why we focus on feelings rather than actual conditions is because when you focus on conditions, you're more likely to get hurt. When you focus on experiences, you can create those experiences regardless of conditions. You can create love regardless if someone loves you or not. And when you are in that unconditional state, you then push it forward, you create a relationship that's more in alignment with who you are and where you're going. And it's interesting because you then create we can call it a gravitational field. You know, when you are creating love in your life, when you feel love unconditionally, when you feel joy unconditionally, when you feel that commitment unconditionally, what does commitment feel like? Commitment feels like safety, right? Commitment feels like a home. So when you can create those feelings inside you, regardless of that guy, regardless of if he won't commit or not, what then happens is you create like a fucking magnetic field in your life that pretty soon you inspire that in other people because you are such a home, you feel so at home, you feel so loved, you feel so safe that other people or this particular guy will want that with you. So how do you make him commit? It's not by sending him a sexy text message. It's not by telling him what to do. It's not by forcing him into a box. In fact, it's got nothing to do with him. We have to define what experience you want to create. What are some of the emotions you want to experience? Because you might say, how do I make him commit? Which is the same as saying, how do I make him happy? But it's not his job to make you happy. It's your job. And when you make yourself happy, you then attract things into your life and you will then reshape your current relationship to match what it is, to match your emotional state. Because if you're feeling like shit, if you're feeling like you won't commit, you'll give him more reasons not to commit. If you're feeling the same way as if you already had the relationship, if you feel that joy, if you feel that passion, if you feel that safety, if you feel that shared sense of space, that will then allow you to start sharing senses of space. You know, you might do nesting activities, and when you start to nest, you know, pretty soon it feels like you guys have a home together. That's really basically it. Now, mindset 2 is don't wait for other people's choices to decide your happiness. Very simple, and very profound as well. Because when we are waiting for other people's choices to make our happiness, he won't commit, he won't commit, he won't commit, he won't commit, he won't commit. You are then taking and conditioning yourself that you aren't in charge and you aren't responsible for your own happiness, for your own choice. Remember, we want to define our experience unconditional of the outcome, unconditional of what's actually happening. But if you're in a position where you're waiting for someone else to decide so that way you can be happy, you're at a standstill. This is where people say, patience is key. But what they really mean is, I'm in a lot of pain, so I need to distract myself by saying that I'm patient. Sometimes people use patient as an excuse. And I don't know if you've been like that, but I definitely have been in the past. You know, we use patience as an excuse because we think that if we're not patient, you know, we're not going to get what we want. But sometimes, because you're so fucking patient, you're not getting where you want. You know, that truth be told, and here's the reason why I want people to be less patient. When you are less patient, you start to access other emotions in you. You know, you stop numbing yourself. So you start accessing the anger, the frustration. But these, some would say negative emotions, are actually responsible and in charge of our power. So when you feel frustrated, you learn quicker. When you feel anger, you let people violate your space less. And when you allow yourself to feel it, it then transforms. It stops being this negative, punchy emotion and starts being, hey, I'm actually someone really powerful. You got to respect my time. And the thing is, and here's the thing, right? The only reason why people don't feel what you say when you are expressing it to the depth that you feel it is because you're not fucking expressing it to the depth of how you can feel it. So if you're feeling anger, if you're feeling frustrated, fucking let that out. Allow yourself to feel it, but you will find when you feel it, it won't be detrimental to your relationship. That he's probably thinking, I can't commit, making some bullshit reasons. And guess what? Those are bullshit reasons. When someone says their past is like, hey, I can't commit to you, baby doll, because I got hurt in the past. That's got nothing to do with you. Like, truth be told, that's got nothing to do with you. It might be that, hey girl, I can't commit to you because, you know, I feel a lot of pain. It's like, your pain has got nothing to do with the relationship. That's the pain. Let's deal with love. So we have to realize that some people make up bullshit reasons that are completely detached. And we accept them because we think, okay, cool, you know, that's them. You know, I gotta be patient. Maybe one day they'll change. And you've fallen in love with how they could be. You've fallen in love with how they were, but you're not fucking in love with the person who's fucking in front of you. So when you let go of that bullshit, when you let go of, oh, okay, this, I've just got to wait, then you start getting in touch with what's actually happening. Because the truth is, you can be happy now unconditionally, but you can also have the conditions you want now by tapping into fucking who you are. So when you're not expressing, the reason why some people don't commit is because you didn't fucking express it. Now, I don't know the details of this specific situation. I don't. So I'm speaking very generally here, but as a mindset, to wait for someone to allow you to be happy or to allow the conditions you want in your relationship is honestly, I find, like a fucking waiting game, because you will wait, and then you will educate your partner that you are not someone who takes what they want and expresses themselves. And you might think, but if I express myself, I'll scare that person away. But sometimes that's what needs to fucking happen, is that when you're in a relationship that is not necessarily like the one that makes you happy, it's not necessarily that you are unhappy, so you attract someone that makes you unhappy and you scare them away because you're trying to be happy. Well, frankly, all you're doing is making space for someone who can enhance your happiness with you, that can share it with you. It's a fucking collaborative relationship. If you're in a relationship that isn't collaborating and you've said that you're a self-sabotager, well, you've self-sabotaged by getting into the wrong relationship in the first place. The number one reason why relationships end is because we were in the wrong relationship to start in the first place. That is how it is. So when you feel like, oh, but I'm going to scare him away, fucking great. That's what needs to happen. If you express yourself and someone runs away, that means they weren't attracted to you. They were attracted to this bullshit illusion of patience and waiting and altering who you are so that they can fall in love with you. But they fell in love with the illusion and not who you actually are. So that way, if you start to fucking express yourself, who you are, what you want, what these emotions are, what you're feeling, the person, you give them the chance to fall in love with you. Because when you don't express yourself, basically all you're trying to say is, I am not enough, I need to change who I am. And if you think that when you express yourself, you're going to scare that person away, you're basically saying that person isn't strong enough to handle me. You're basically devaluing them, dehumanizing them, giving them extra conditions, extra emotions. And what happens is when you feel a certain emotion, what you do is you bring that emotion out in them. So if you feel shit, you will then make them feel shit because our emotions want to be felt. We then change the world to suit who we are. So if you're a self-sabotager, you will then change the world to suit your self-sabotaging needs, because that feeling of self-sabotaging, that's what needs to be felt in order for you to move past. If you don't feel that, then what's going to happen is you're going to keep altering your world, meeting people, having the appropriate activities, feelings, interactions, business meetings, fitness, all that thing, just so you can say, I've had enough of self-sabotaging. I want to be happy for once. Why can't it be simple? And here's the fucking truth. It can be simple. It can be easy. Most people say, oh, love is pain. And guess what? If you believe it, that's how it is. If you are angry, you will attract more anger. If you are loved, you will attract more love. If you are pain, you will attract more pain. And if you are feeling joy, you will attract more joy. It is unconditional what we have to feel first. Now, mindset number 3. Mindset number 3 is very simply confront the truth. Confront the truth. Here's the hard thing that most people are afraid of. I'm here to tell you, you have to confront the truth. Sometimes he won't commit because he just does not want what you want, but he wants you around. He wants you around enough to see you 2 times a week, 3 times a week, sleep with you, laugh with you, have joy with you. But you got to confront the truth. If he does not want what you want, you guys are on 2 completely different paths. You might say, but I don't want to get hurt. Sometimes, if we numb ourselves on the bad, we also numb ourselves on the good. Most people are so afraid of living that they go into their tiny corner and they protect that little world of nothing that they have, So in relationships, what I find people do is they don't have a great relationship, but they're so afraid, so they protect their little box of nothing. Confront the truth. Talk to your partner. Say, hey, this is what I want. Do you want it also? And they might say, I don't. And that's where you can part ways. But guess what? You'll part ways in such a beautiful and whole place that when you part ways in that sense, it's you're parting ways as two whole people who didn't not give it their all, that you gave it your all in the relationship, you were as honest as you could, and you expressed yourself. But if you're afraid of that, it's only because you're afraid of opening up who you are. You're afraid of not expressing, you're afraid of being hurt. But that pain inspires greatness. Only when we are in that pain do we decide what we truly want. You've probably been sad in your life. You've probably been upset. You've probably been hurt. And all of those times you've decided, hey, I don't want to be hurt anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. I want to be fucking happy. This is why I find with most people who are depressed, if we get them to feel their depression, after a while they wake up and they're like, hey, I don't want to be depressed anymore. What else is there? Hey, can I be happy for once? Let's do that. That sounds like fun. So we got to confront the truth. Because the more we confront the truth, the more we are opening up the tap of love. And when we open up the tap, sometimes there's negative emotions that come out, sometimes there's positive. But you will not get passion. You will not get love. You will not get the growth. You will not get the commitment that you fucking want unless you're willing to open up that tap. And you can do it if you're too afraid to open it up full ball. You can do it by starting small. Talking about what you want and asking him what he wants, but not necessarily trying to align the two. Because if the two can't align, if you're not going in the same direction, you're not going in the same direction. And truth be told, the myth of a relationship lasting a lifetime is a myth. When you think it has to last a lifetime, you completely devalue what is actually happening right in front of you. And sometimes it's just two people connecting because that's what they needed at the time, And if you try and commit to that person and he doesn't want to commit, or you're trying to express yourself to that person and they don't want to express themselves, maybe it was because the relationship you had it served its purpose and it might be time to move on. And the best way to move on is to decide what experience you want. What are some of the emotions that you want to experience? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be feeling great? Do you want to be hurt? Or do you not want to be hurt? What feels better? Being hurt or having passion and love in your relationship? And when you tap into that, when you allow yourself to feel that unconditionally, you'll begin to align with the right people, time, place, sounds, events, parties. You won't have to rely on dating apps. You won't have to rely on the same bullshit things that you've been doing because the same bullshit things have gotten you this far. You don't watch a video like this unless you want more. Or you've already got more and you want to remind yourself about what more is like. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to work with me one-on-one, go to loveonmyterms.com. You can apply for a free coaching call. Everyone gets one. If you want to try out my 7-day self-love course, it's a meditation course. It's at home. Go to 7dayselflovecourse.com. And if you liked this video, make sure to leave a like, because if you did and I liked you, and make sure to subscribe, because if you don't, fucking hell on earth is going to release, fire, brimstone, the horsemen, all 4 of them, and they're all going to look like me. So thanks so much for watching. I love you and have a good day.